Aquinas then asserts that sacred doctrine surpasses all other sciences, both speculative and practical. It surpasses speculative sciences like metaphysics or physics in two ways: in certainty, because it draws its principles not from human reasoning, which can err, but from divine revelation, which is infallible; in dignity, because its subject matter, God and divine things, is higher than that of any other science. It also surpasses practical sciences, like politics or ethics, because its ultimate aim is eternal happiness, the highest and final end of human life. All other practical sciences serve lesser ends. Aquinas also speak of sacred doctrine as the supreme wisdom. For Aquinas, wisdom means knowledge of the highest cause by which everything else is judged and ordered. Therefore, theology, which studies God as the ultimate cause of all things, is the truest and highest form of wisdom. Philosophers like Aristotle could reach some knowledge of God through reason, but theology goes beyond that. It studies God as he knows himself, and as he has revealed himself to humanity. This makes theology, divine wisdom, far exceeding human wisdom. Every science has an object. The object of every science is that which it studies under a certain aspect. Theology, says Aquinas, studies all things under the aspect of God, either because they are God himself or because they are related to him as their source or goal. Thus, the true object of theology is God, and everything else is studied in relation to him. Like other sciences, theology does not try to prove its own first principles. Its first principles are the articles of faith, which are accepted by belief, not by proof. Theology reasons from these revealed principles to draw conclusions about other truths. While philosophical sciences can argue with those who deny their principles, theology can only reason with someone who accepts at least part of revelation. For those who reject all revelation, theology can only respond to their objections, not prove faith to them through reason. Aquinas also notes that Holy Scripture often teaches divine truths through figures and metaphors, material images that point to spiritual realities. This method is fitting for two reasons. Human beings understand spiritual things more easily through sensible images. 2. Scripture is meant for everyone, wise and unwise alike. So figurative speech helps even the simple understand divine. Because God is the author of Scripture, he can signify truth not only by words, but also by the very realities those words describe. Therefore, Scripture has two main levels of meaning: the literal sense, the direct meaning of the words. 2. The spiritual sense, a higher meaning in which the realities themselves signify deeper truths. Also, the spiritual sense has three subdivisions: allegorical, when events in the Old Testament foreshadow those in the New; moral, when Christ's actions or events teach us how to live rightly; anagogical, when earthly realities point to eternal glory. All these senses depend on the literal sense, which remains the foundation for any theological argument. In summary, Saint Thomas Aquinas teaches that sacred doctrine is both necessary and supreme. Human reason alone cannot reach the fullness of divine truth or secure